Hello Libra, how are you guys doing? Welcome to Ernest Tarot and your monthly reading for the month of January 2025. How are you guys doing? How are you Libra? I chose for you for this reading the Business Tarot. And this is indicating for me that you have your nose on your business, on your career, on your job, on whatever you do for a living. Even if you're retired, even if you're a caretaker, if you're a stay-at-home person, regardless, it's how you earn your life. So that's exciting. Let us see where you are at the beginning of the month. Which energy do you carry and how do you enter the month of January 2025? Let us take a look at that. La puissance in reverse, which is strength in reverse. Okay. And this is mainly talking about the inefficiency of the gentle strength, meaning January 2025, you enter the month where you don't feel that little nudges are working, that open conversations are working, that sitting down with someone to resolve something is leading anywhere, right? Um, this is this is an energy where you feel you gotta take a major move, like you gotta do a power move in order to inflict certain change, like being diplomatic, being charming, being even cunning to a degree is not doesn't feel that it rings true for you with the beginning of this month, right? This is really talking about um, adopting like true sense of strength. Um, Before we talk about what if this might not be your energy, maybe someone else's, let me see the other card and we can talk more about this. Because first of all, if this is you, the download I'm getting is also this could be talking about tough love, right? Maybe someone in your life, in your job, in your business, maybe your partner who's providing, maybe you are providing, whatever it is, someone needs some tough love, a little slap on the emotional face, right? To like a wake up call. That is only what's gonna lead to, the next phase of that conversation or of that situation. Neuf de bâton in reverse, which is the nine of wands in reverse, yeah. And I think that tough love is necessary because someone is taking something here for granted, right? This is how to say it, like someone's sleeping on their laurels and they need to understand that whatever's going on in this situation is not for granted. It is something that you need to earn every day. This could be money, a job. This could actually even be like a respect. Like respect needs to be earned every day. A relationship isn't to be taken for granted. It is to be cultivated, to be maintained, to be taken care of, all of that. So I think someone is slacking behind, someone is sleeping in their laurels, someone is not taking this seriously anymore. Someone thinks that things will just has been like that for a while, so they must continue like this without effort. And this is some tough love required, Libra, for someone to snap out of the situation and start putting effort back into this, or they'll be jeopardizing the entire relationship or the entire situation or the entire job or whatever that is. Okay, interesting. Now, and Libra, like you're all about restoring balance. So I think with that power move, you're going to restore the power equation because there's an obvious like mishandling of power or misbalance, imbalance more. So yeah, now let's take a look at what's going on in that brain of yours, in those inner scales of yours. Let's take a look at that and see what's going on. Let's talk about your feelings. All right. So you have Cavalier de Bâton in reverse, which is the Knight of Wands in reverse. Yeah, I think like you're really feeling drained, and it's as if this whole situation, this whole mishandling of power, this whole being taken for granted, this whole ungrateful attitude has somehow drained your fire for life, drained your energy. You feel a little bit like exhausted, tired, emotionally speaking. You feel you need to recharge. You feel you don't have that spark anymore. And I think it's because of that you want to rectify that, right? You want to be all go. You want to embrace back your quest for beauty and equilibrium and symmetry and justice and all of that, eternal quest and adventure towards balancing things, right? There has been a lot of darkness and you gotta bring in the light. And in order for you to bring the light again, because lately of all that darkness, you gotta really like address that situation. Someone needs a little bitch slap. Just saying. All right. So let's see how your actions, what are you putting out in the world? What are your actions reflecting? How are you manifesting all that energy on the outside? And so let's take a look at what Libra is doing. We have Le Pendu in reverse, which is the Hangman in reverse. In this case, it's a woman. And so with this card in reverse, this is saying that no, you are not losing your mind. No, you are not crazy, right? You are not crazy. Someone is definitely gaslighting you, right? And that gaslighting is trying to make you doubt your inner sense of equilibrium, your inner sense of justice, your inner scale, your inner sense, your perception also to the world, and your accurate moral compass that really indicates for you what is right and what is wrong. And in this case, you're right, your Libra. You are very much right. Someone is just trying to make you think you're crazy, and it ain't gonna fly. It ain't gonna work. You know that you're in the right when it comes to that situation. You are in the know. Someone mistook themselves and their actions and their whatever, their power. They just, megalomania, right? All right. And so this is saying that you are not budging from your perception. You really do believe in your own values. You really are fighting the good fight. Your ethics, your actions, your moral code, your everything that you oozes pretty much is the way. You don't have to, flip upside down to know that you have to look at this differently. Maybe another situation, not in this one. Okay, nice. Now let's take a look at what happened in the past, a lesson that you overcame, that you mastered, and that you're carrying with you into this month and into this situation. Let's take a look at that. We have the Ace of Swords in reverse, As d'épée. All right, it's in reverse. So I think you have carried with you Is this my reflection? All right. Let's change that. All right. And so you have learned, right, that sometimes there's a reason for delays when it comes to the right idea. There is reason for confusion. There is reason why you weren't able to communicate something. There is a reason why your ideas or your words or whatever that is were not well received at the moment. And I think the lesson that you carry here is like divine timing. That meaning that now you know that you know better than to force an opinion or force a point of view or force um, even like when you're selling an idea, let's say to a client or to business or to partners or whatever, then to push and force for that narrative, if it is not well received at first, you learn that you gotta let it, like you threw it out there, you let it just be, and then if it will fly again, it will by itself, right? And so you learn not to go against the status quo when it comes to that. And sometimes also you have learned that not everyone can be receptive. People are not at your speed all the time, right? Sometimes you reached a level spiritually, intellectually, energetically, and people are not there yet, and so you can't force their growth, right? You throw it out there. If they're not at that level, you gotta give it a rest, and then you move on to tend to other pertaining or pertinent things or relationships in your journey. And that's what you learn, and that's a good lesson. Now, let's take a look at what you shall learn, right? When it comes to the month of January, what is the major main lesson for you? Let's take a look at that. We have the Seven of Swords in reverse. Sept d'épée. All right, all right, all right. And the Seven of Swords in reverse is another lesson that is teaching you, and I think this really goes hand in hand with the strength in reverse, right? Indicating that this is a time or a month to learn to be really direct, right? This is not a month to be passive aggressive. This is not a month to take shortcuts. This is not a month to try to influence someone or inspire someone or sway their vote into something. This is not the time to impress someone or impress a thought on them. This is not a time to also try to sway a group in your favor. This is really a time to just speak your convictions out loud and just say it is what it is. I 100% believe in this and I don't need to convince you, right? I don't need to convince you. I think this is how, and you're either with me or not gonna say against me, but or either you're out and I'm continuing to do this because I believe it is the right thing. Okay? That's a hard lesson for Libra because Libra is usually, like diplomatic and charming and trying to like weigh both options and always playing the devil's advocate and all that. This is a month that requires for you to leave a little bit that ping pong energy, that back and forth, that black and white, that highlights and shadows type of energy that complements each other, and just to look at one thing just from one perspective, from the white perspective or the black perspective or the active perspective, passive perspective, the female perspective, the male perspective. Just choose one perspective that you really resonate with and you're just gonna go with it. Now let's see, what is the attitude to adopt for the month of January? What is your advice here, dear Libra? What is your advice? It is the Huit de Coupe in reverse, Eight of Cups in reverse. And yeah, I think your advice is to stick around before you before you make a final decision that you can't take back, right? So before you leave that job, before you burn that bridge, before you move away, before you go on that next emotional adventure, whatever, right? Just is the idea here is just to, after you say your piece, after you show that tough love, after you express your opinion, after you do all of that, right? And after you have thrown your idea out there of how things should be, would be, could be, you just gotta give the other people or involved in this, right, in this situation, or you gotta give the situation in itself with the circumstances some time to process all that, some gestational time, to see if that sunk in, because sometimes you cannot just drop a bombshell on someone or on a situation and expect it immediately to react in the best way. So you gotta let the dust settle, you gotta wait, and then see. I am not saying with this card that if you wait, things will be, amazing and you don't have to walk away from this or whatever it is, right? Or go on that next journey. No. But somehow you gotta wait for things to play out because it's gonna give you like the closure that you needed, sort of thing, before you move on completely towards that new chapter that will be emotionally fulfilling, right? So this old chapter that's lagging emotionally, that used to bring you satisfaction in the past, and that's no longer cutting it for you. Just wait a little bit to see how everything reacts to this new energy of yours. Because once you cross that bridge, once you move to that new chapter, right, there's no going back to all of this. So you just gotta be sure that you have gotten everything you needed to gotten on an emotional level before you move on. Right? And so now we're gonna take a look at what's going on around you. Let's talk about that circumstance, that situation, those people, everything, dear Libra. Let us see what this is all about. It is about Les Trois de Bâton upright, which is the Three of Wands upright. Yeah, I think this is a situation involving like a, what do you call it, like junction roads and all of that, where people around you or situations around you and everything around you feels that it's about, like, everyone knows that things are changing and they are about to change, but they didn't yet, right? Like they're still everything is still standing by itself, but contemplating what's gonna happen and seeing that it's happening. These ships are coming in. Everyone knows there is no debate about this change, that it's gonna come, right? It's gonna happen. The debate is how, but it's happening. And so everyone knows and everything feels and everything points towards that new chapter, that new travel, right? People around you traveling, people around you contemplating traveling, contemplating moving away, contemplating switching their jobs, contemplating entering new chapters in their life, contemplating moving into new relationships, contemplating switching habits, everything, just all sort of change that you might think of. People are contemplating this. And situations as well indicate that way. And so I think everyone knows it, but not everyone is ready yet, right, to make that move. As much as it's coming, everyone's just like trying to linger in the present. It's a bittersweet moment. And that's why I think it's very important with the advice card here to stay here for a while, to stick here for a while. There's still something here for you on an emotional level, right, that you need to claim before your ships come in and everyone's ships come in and everyone just enters that new chapter. Okay. Nice. Now let's take a look at what do you want, maybe what are you scared of, but also what do you want from the month of January 2025, my dear Libra. All right. L'ermite in reverse, the hermit in reverse. So I think what you want, what you really, really crave, and in the month of January is companionship, is connection, is clarity of way, is a purpose driven life. And this is also what the opposite is literally what you're scared of. So you're scared of not being able to, find that purpose, or not being able to find the real companions and connect, not being able to, adopt that pet, have that baby. The baby or the pet could be a project, right? Or business or whatever it is. It doesn't always have to be like a human or an animal soul. And so it could be a creative, a passion project, whatever it is. And so, yeah, you're a little bit scared of that. And that's why you really, really crave, you feel in the month of January that you really crave connection. You really want to not only crave connection, like you crave meaning, you crave purpose, you want to find your way, right? And that's why probably like it's not the time yet to move into that new chapter, because I don't think you have found what it is exactly, the right format yet. And it's all right, because everyone around you anyhow didn't move on yet. And so that also makes it that everyone's just like hanging out yet, right? But once everyone moves on to the new adventure, and you'll have your closure and you'll be able to also move on, then it'll be time to hopefully you finding that purpose driven chapter. And now, as a final card, we're going to take a look at your outcome, sorry. What's going to happen thanks to the month of January? Out of all of this, dear Libra, what's going to happen out of all this journey this month? Let us see. You have Le Big Boss or the Emperor in reverse. And I think what's going to happen is there's a new king, right? There are new rules, there's new kingdom, there's new hierarchy, there are people being demoted, people being promoted in business, in family, in friendship, in love, everywhere, right? This is also an energy that feels more that, like there's not one leader here, there's not one boss. We are all equal. We all not equal, but like we all play equally important roles in this, or in whatever this is, that future, right? And probably that's why the present needed to change, because it was sort of like ruled by one central power, and now that power needs to be given to different players, right? That's the best way to interpret it. And so it's a lovely, lovely energy. Wow. Okay. Decentralization for whatever that is. And that was, that was what was kickstarted by that tough love here that started with the reading. So this is the cliffhanger card, and this is going to show what's going to happen after that decentralization, right? What is the transitional energy from January to February? And that's just going to give you a little taste, a small taste of what's to come afterwards. And so let's take a look at that. Wow, that is the most beautiful cliffhanger card that you could ever receive after reading like that. Six de bâton, or Six of Wands, success. And not only success, being seen in public, being validated, being applauded, being celebrated for all that effort, right? Finally, now people will see the idea, the concept, what you were preaching before that they weren't receptive before. Wow, it's a new chapter, and you are really, really, really happy. You deserve this. I can't wait to dig in the month of February for you as well. What a journey in January, dear Libra. Wow, wow, wow. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I love you. Congratulations.